There we go. Oh, okay. I was like, hey, what happened? All right. You guys, I'm just getting used to my new, I have StreamYard, which is a new platform I'm using. Um, so it's like new. So let me know like where you're tuning in from, where you're from. And tell me if you have a freshman, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, what class year. Tell me where you're tuning in from. So go ahead and type that into the chat. And I just want to make sure, can you hear me okay? Yes? Testing. This is new for me, so I need you to help me because I can see the comments over here on the thing. We did it. We were live not too long ago, and I don't, just learning all the things. I'm just learning all the things, you guys. So super excited. Okay, let's see. All right, tell me where you're from, where you're tuning in from. We had Pennsylvania, California. Gosh, who did we have? So let me know where you're from, and also tell me what grade level. Okay. Ooh, Jennifer, it's 9 o'clock there, girl. Hey, cheers to you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's see how I do this. Hi, Jennifer has a junior. Love it. Love it. Also, you guys, let me know if you are new to me, like brand new, and this is like your first time watching any of my trainings or, anything like that. So let me know so that I know. Hi, Sally. Yay, Sally. Sally's a VIP member. And even still, you guys might think like, oh, like they get all the, the attention, but you got to just like inform yourself all the time and you're always learning something new. So this is a whole family affair. Yeah. Yeah. Her son's a sophomore. She's on it. She's on it. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to just start by saying a little bit apologizing because I'm not sick anymore, but like at the end. So I haven't been able to rest my voice for long enough for it to get better. So I should have made my tea. I was just walking Elvis. So I have my water and I've got like 6 cough drops. Okay. So bear with me, but I've got something good for you today. So sound good? Type into the comments like the number 1 if you're like ready to like Dr. C, just like, let's go. I'm ready. Right? I'm good. Let's go. Hi, Carrie, South Pasadena. Yay. I love all my kiddos from South Pasadena. Hopefully we'll be there next year. They were doing construction or something this past year. Right, Carrie? Okay. All right. Let's get started. Let's get this party started. Present. This is totally new for me. I'm also streaming on like both my Facebooks right now. I don't know. This is all new for me. So we're going on a field trip. Here we go. Yes. Go. Click. Share. Okay. All right. You can see my screen, right? Okay. Yes. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have you here. And that you, for giving your time. Obviously, it tells me a lot about you because when you're putting, your children's future in front of your own needs or whatever else you would be doing, that says a lot. So welcome. Tonight, I'm presenting the new training called the Ultimate College Application Blueprint. I'm going to give you the 6 secrets, but I didn't want to stop there because I'm all about like practical walking away with something like you can do right now. Okay. So no worries. Now, my team put together this workbook. So if you didn't get the workbook, and most of you probably didn't because we didn't have it ready, truth be told. We didn't have it ready when we started launching. So we got it ready. And so you can scan the QR code. I really believe that you can watch me and you can listen to me or anything, not just me. But when you write down things, it's like really, really a good way to know that you're going to get it done. So you can also just be old school and just grab a, yellow. Anybody have a yellow pad of paper? The lined? Yeah, I used to have those. All right, so here we go. I want you to know that I have some prizes at the end. I have a prize. I'm going to raffle off something. So stay to the end. I'll give you a prize, including something that's one of my favorite tools to use. Okay. Who is this for? Okay, so type into the comments which parent you are. So you might be the holy smokes parent that like, I'm Gen X. Everybody I went to high school, they're all Gen X. And we're like, what? How did it get so competitive? What's going on? So what's what's the big deal? So you might be thinking like, I need some help because I don't know how to do this. And it wasn't that hard before. You might be the now what? Now what? The now what parent is like, the kid is doing everything the right way. You're giving them all the tools they need to be helpful and to succeed. But you might be at that point where you're like, okay, I've done everything I can, and I don't know how to get them like across the finish line. So now what? We've done everything right, but now what? Okay. And then the last one here is the first rodeo. That's my favorite. That's my mom. That's my mom, Lydia. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Mom. So I was the first, I'd be first generation to attend college. I was her firstborn. And also, she did not go to college. So this was her first time going through it. So tell me, which one are you? Which one are you? And while you do that, and it just tell you that you're here because you want to give your child every advantage. You want to make sure that they get into the best colleges possible. And it sets them up for a happy life and a happy future. I mean, you're not like any most other parents. You just want the best. And it's not, I always just want to remind you and say out loud, I know that it's not just about like the title or the prestige or the name of the school. It's that that you're setting them up for a lifetime of happiness, or hopefully changing the trajectory of their life, right? Am I right? Am I right? Okay, so let me know. Let's see. Yeah, the holy smokes. Okay. All right, Carrie, Jennifer, anybody? Yeah, let me know what you are. So funny. Oh, so funny. I know. So crazy. Okay, who's this not for? If your child is going directly to community college or applying to colleges that don't even need essays, you probably don't need to be here. So I'm just telling you because I don't want to waste your time, but that's who it's not for. Okay. Okay. So question for you. What would your life, meaning your child's life, look like if they could be admitted to even just one, maybe two, maybe more dream colleges, just by giving the application process the time that it deserves? Okay. Because let's face it. I mean, gosh, those of you who are parents on here, like, let's face it, like, nothing is hard, right? You can do anything, but it does require effort and time. So that's what we're talking about here. Over the next 45 minutes, I'm going to go over this sort of a game plan, if you will, sort of the umbrella of like, what are all the moving parts? What are all the pieces to this puzzle that we call college admissions? And I'm going to break it down for you a little bit. So give you some great strategies and tools to use. Okay. Sound good? Yay. Okay. Let's go through them one by one. The grand plan. Now, if you have a copy of my book, you know that's broken out into 7 chapters. And they're all like, the academic plan, the resume plan. Everything has a plan. Why? Because you need a plan to, you need a plan, you need a map, you need a blueprint, you need directions on where you are and where you want to go. So everybody needs a plan. And 90% of the application happens before senior year. So before even setting foot, late August or early September and back to school, everything has already happened that's going to go into that application. So think about that. Okay, just think about that. Okay, what do I need to do before senior year? Know your competition. So the biggest competition is sitting right with your teen in class, because everybody, all the students are applying from that high school to XYZ college. They're competing against each other. So I know. Did that make you nervous? Number 3, know your coolness factor. This is like it's like X factor, but I call it coolness factor because I think it's cool, super cool. Oh my gosh, you guys, just before we went live, one of my students, he got into Duke. What? So when I was live at 3:00, I knew that he was probably going to find out while I was live. And I was like, oh my gosh, the whole time I was thinking, oh my gosh. And he's amazing. So anyway, he got into Duke. Okay, sidetrack. Where did that come from? I don't know. I got super excited about cool. Oh, because he has so many coolness factors. So you want to know that in order to stand out, you got to be willing to do the things that most teenagers won't do, so that you can achieve things that most applicants cannot. Okay, so just think about that. It's like anything, right? I get these things on my Instagram, like the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans and the Michael Phelps, all the like quotes and stuff. It's like putting in the time, putting in the hours. You got to recruit your team. Woo woo! I'm all about the believers, the supporters, the cheerleaders. I'm a cheerleader. Surprise, right? Um, but there's a difference between what counselors are to do and what teachers are to do. So you want to really sure. I'll show you a little piece today as to how to make sure you're recruiting the right people to your team who will eventually write about you. Okay. You got to know your narrative. What does that mean? It means like you got to know your story, right? What is the story? Because as I'll show you a little bit later, like it just boils down to just a few little sentences, right? What? Yeah, I just told you that 17 years of your life will boil down to like 3 or 4 sentences. I know, crazy. So we live and die by this rule. What you do becomes your resume. Why you do it becomes your essay. Too many people make the mistake of writing about their, what they do instead of, why it's important. Last piece is the connecting the dots. So here, this is like, woohoo. The onus is on the applicant, not the admission officer. Okay. I'll go into that a little bit more, but basically, right, bomb drop. Like, what? What does that mean? Yeah, it's up to the applicant to make sure they get whatever it is they need to get into that application, because what gets written gets reviewed. What is not written is omitted from review. So, boom, keep that in mind. Sorry. What makes this different is that basically you have to think that if, especially most of you on this call, I think, that we've been living with this. Like most of my friends will say, like, what do you mean? Like nobody that we knew had a private counselor or used a coach or anything like that. But these are systems that I've used that take the old school thinking and process, but it puts it sort of like takes it to the next level, puts it on steroids a little bit. Okay, right? Good news and bad news. I know it's craziness. So here's how it started. Here's me, mom, when I was young, and my parents were going through divorce. They, I basically grew up kind of with a single mom, one of 3 daughters, and she knew that my dream college was USC. Now, I say all this, but the truth is, like, I was obsessed with college football. I was watching college football, like, when I was a teenager by myself, because I'm one of 3 girls. My mom is one of 9 girls. My dad's a musician. Nobody like cared about sports. But I was obsessed with like traditions and mascots and pomp and circumstance and all of that. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go to USC. So fabulous. So she told Mr. Vargas, she met him when I was a sophomore. I didn't know this. And then when I became a senior, I was paralyzed. I was super confident. I was a student body president. A lot of good things going on in my life. I was living, the quintessential rah, life. But I definitely had imposter syndrome. I just like, and me applying to college. Oh my God. So she was like, oh no, let's go. She put me in the car, the brown Oldsmobile. She drove me to go visit Mr. Raul Vargas. And he gave us the plan and the strategy and the timeline, everything like I'm doing for you now. So I will never forget that. I will ever be always ever grateful for her courage to ask for help and get the help that I deserved. So boom, you can see I graduated from USC, my dream college at the time. But that's not why I want you to stick around. I want you to stick around because I went to USC, I went to Columbia University for my master's degree, and I worked at Barnard College. And then my first real job was at Vassar. And there is where I learned the discrepancy between the amount of resources and knowledge that were found at private schools versus public schools, meaning high schools. So I would recruit students for Vassar at mostly private schools, you guys. These 6th graders were learning Mandarin. These sophomores were, writing 10, 15-page papers. Yeah. I was like, what? So super glad I didn't know that when I was in high school. But I took these strategies that I learned behind the scenes at Vassar, and I took them to Marymount High School. It's a private elite girls' school here in Los Angeles. It's a Catholic girls' school. I like to say where Mariska Hargitay went. I just love her. From, what is that show? Law and Order? But the other one, the one that I don't like to watch because I don't like those stories. Anyway, I was hired to come to Marymount at the time when admissions and competitiveness was getting higher and higher. And I was brought in to say, okay, let's make sure these girls are getting into top colleges because that's what the parents expect. That's what the board expects. So I started from scratch, but we did some things and we tweaked some things the way that we were teaching essays, for example. And boom, right away, they got really good news. They were admitted to Duke, to Stanford, and to Brown in my first year, I think early, about this time in my first year. So it was working. Something was working. I was like, hey, I think we're onto something. So you take a look at the screen. Does any of this make sense to you, or does it resonate with you? Hopefully you're nodding your head, yeah. Are you feeling pressure? Like, especially if you're junior, type in the chat. Those of you, I see some new people coming. Type in the chat. I say chat like we're on Zoom. Hello, Cynthia. We're on a new platform here. Get with the program. So type in the comments what grade level you're representing. Okay, so you might be feeling like there's pressure, time pressure, especially if you are in the junior year. You might be wondering, like, okay, did she do enough? Is his application going to stand out? Like, you might be thinking, like, you want to be helpful without nagging as a parent because you really want to maintain this loving relationship with your child. I get a lot of moms that tell me that, maybe moms of sons that really, that is something. So tell me what resonates with you. How are you feeling? Does any of this sound like you? I'm just going to take a look here in my Carrie. Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay. So hopefully you're like, are you with me? Yes. I can't see you. That's the thing about with Zoom. I was able to like kind of see people. So I don't know. We'll see how well I like this, but I like do you guys like the frame and like all this whole cool stuff? Okay. Hang on. Let me. Okay. I'm looking for, oh yeah. Okay, good. I'm learning how to show, I can show your comments. This is what I love. I love this. Boom. Okay. All right, I digress. What you need right now is you probably need a proven system, something to help you walk you through along the way, a proven plan that maximizes time, right? At this point, if you're looking for results, you're wanting to sort of collapse time and help get ahead. That's probably what you're like, yeah. And as I mentioned before, like, not only did I start from scratch, like when I was an actual teenager, but I have to tell you, when I went to Marymount, and I left faster and went to Marymount, took the job at Marymount, the counselor before left nothing. She'd been there for years. And I don't know why she, vacated everything, but there was nothing. No forms, no docs, no notes, no nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I had good mentors and I had people that I could call and like say, like, how do I start this college counseling, office from scratch? And we built the curriculum from the ground up. So I love that because I have an entrepreneurial spirit anyway, obviously. And so I was able to do that. So what I learned really was that, like, everything you're feeling is all completely normal, but it's also, it's not the problem. It's like the symptom, right? You're just like nervous because you're in this like old mindset of like, okay, this is how we did it. Yeah. Do you guys remember SAT 2s? Anybody? That's why I didn't apply to the UC system. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but lots of new things. So the good news is many more students are applying to college than were many years ago. The bad news is there's many more students applying to college. So good news, bad news. Here are the six steps here. Ooh, gosh, I'm going to make it through. The game plan, you want to have micro wins daily so that you don't lose. I mean, this is a long process, a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. You want a clear understanding of how the high school that your child attends, how that plays a role in getting it, where they get admitted. Yeah, no joke. Bomb drop. Okay. You want to focus on leveraging the resume while not losing sight of the importance of academics. Favorite part for me is to work on is the resume part, the coolness and all of that. I'll get to it. But the academics always come first. Every day you can show up, because the one thing you can do is like, for your child is to show up to school, showing the adults what kind of, student you are and also what kind of community member you are. So that's the best thing you can do. I used to tell the girls, you can't show up late to your first period class with a latte in hand, unless you bring one also for the teacher. Hello. So learning a proven and repeatable essay system that can increase chances of up to 80%. I know, seriously. I'm telling you, we just in the last few days, Stanford, Williams, Duke. It's a good year. Have a clear path to creating a compelling application that maximizes acceptance letters. Now, you want to begin with the end in mind, which is what we're doing here today. Yay, you're here. Yay. And that's the whole point, because what you put in that application happens before senior year, right? What goes in 90% happens before senior year. I'm telling you. So what you need to know is that after today's training, you're going to know how to navigate the process, and you're going to feel like you're 5 steps ahead. You're going to have like, some confidence. Your kid might have some confidence too. And this is not just for A+ students. No. Some of my favorite students to work with are solid B+ students, because there's so many of them. They definitely need to know how to stand out, right? I mean, everybody's in them. Whatever pool you're in, you're going to have to stand out. So let's take Miles, for example. So quick story. I was on the local TV stations years ago when he was a sophomore. It was April of his sophomore year, and his mom called. I saw you on TV, blah, blah. Our family friend just went through the process and she didn't get in like hardly anywhere. She got like waitlisted and she had all the things. I mean, I'm abbreviating, but what Roxanne was basically saying was this student had above a 4.0. There was like nothing wrong with her application and she didn't get in. They were shocked. So she was like, can you please come to our house? This was before COVID when we still did that. And can we have an appointment with you? So we put in together like a plan and we backwards engineer. Like I did exactly what I do with what I used to do with my Marymount students. So boom, he's at Michigan. That was one of his top choices. Here's Jonna. Her mom found us online. She's from Chicago, Illinois. And she had big dreams. And her mom was like, I've done everything I can for her, but I don't know. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I don't know how to help her. She had Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford on the brain. So anyway, she followed our method all the way. I started working with her after her sophomore year, all the way through. So, and that's, by the way, that's Craig Robinson. Bonus if anyone knows who Craig Robinson is. Please type it into the comments if you know who that is. Woo, Princeton alum. But that's not all. Okay. All right. So if you are new to my trainings, this is the first time you're seeing me, etc. This is a little bit about my background. So I always say I have all the diplomas and they're framed. I've even paid for them to be like beautifully framed. And I don't know why I don't put them up. But anyway, this is me. Yes, I'm a best-selling author, TEDx speaker. This is on my second book. But basically, this is what you need to know. What you need to know is I'm obsessed with colleges. All I wanted to do was have someone pay me to work and live at a college, and I was able to do that for a bit, but that doesn't pay very well. So now I get to just talk about colleges all day, every day. So that's really my heart, or my passion is with that, but my heart is with students just like me, public school, Catholic school kind of students who I know they are not getting nearly, like I told you, sixth graders learning Mandarin. What? Brick buildings, guard gates. That's not how I grew up. So anyway, that is me. There you go. Here's Alexis. She's from Orange County, California, went to a public school. Her dad was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Same thing like Jonna. She had big dreams and her dad was like, I don't know if the school can do everything that they need to get her to where she is. She's not superhuman. She's not the next Mother Teresa. She's not a recruited athlete. She's just normal, ordinary kid doing extraordinary work, right? She's at Yale now. Okay, this is the old way. That's my dad. That's my papa. He's in heaven now. And that's me in high school. And shout out, if this is you rolled out of bed, took the SAT one time, applied to a handful of colleges and got into, your favorite one. Boom, done. Right? That's me. It was just easier back then. It really was. And I dare say, even when I applied to Columbia, I remember oh, this is like a big deal. I applied to 5 graduate programs. Yes, Harvard denied me or waitlisted me. I don't remember, but I didn't get into Harvard. That's okay because it wasn't my favorite school anyway. So it was just easier. It was just an easier time, and that's just not true anymore. So I'm sorry. I made this slide. I was like, ooh. And it looks a lot more complicated than it is. But the bottom line is this is the new way. You got to have a plan in place and you got to follow the steps. And you got to be thinking about this way before senior year. Okay, just saying, right? Can I get an amen? I'm not even that religious, but I love, because I worked at Catholic schools for so long. So Michelle O's brother. What does that mean, Jennifer? Is that somebody I know? Oh, there must have been a slide that made you say that. Oh, okay. So basically the old way, the new way. The old way, roll out of bed. The new way, you got to make a plan for years to come. It's crazy. Here are the six secrets. Here we go. Start number 1. 90% happens before senior year. So what's the answer to that? Step 1 is to make a plan. You're going to make a plan. I'm going to give you, screenshot this. I have 4 for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, here is the master plan here. I loosely give you things to follow. Again, you can screenshot this. But this first part of the year, you're going to just focus on the academics and gathering stuff, getting organized, getting an email list. Okay, I'm going to focus on just that one. get an email for your family. This is what I say to my VIP clients. Why? Because you're going to get a deluge of like love mail. Colleges buy names, purchase names from College Board based on PSAT scores. Okay, maybe that's a secret I just dropped on you. So you start to get all this deluge of mail, right? So you want to use one family email so that anybody and everybody can open those emails, and then you got to kind of want to click around and like pretend you're interested. Okay, they're tracking that. Okay, dropping bombs. Here we go. All right, next step. All right, so again, take a screenshot, and here's the next thing. So what I want to concentrate here in this next part. Now, I think I'm a football fan, as I already said. So I want to think of the spring as like spring training, right? There's baseball spring training. I've been to that in Phoenix, and football spring training, all the things, right? You can't just show up to the pros when the pro season starts without having done the training. No, it doesn't work that way. So think of this first part of the year as your spring training. Okay, the Goldilocks method, visiting colleges. The Goldilocks method is from Daphne. She was one of my students years ago, and she said, "Oh, you go and visit a small school in your local area, a medium-sized school, and a big school, right? I would recommend doing like a 50-mile radius, and I treat them like national parks, but you would pick a small private and public school, maybe a small or medium-sized public. So you're trying to get a sense of like, what is your kid like, right? Maybe you're the kid yourself, and you're not a kid, young man, young woman, sorry. So you want to get the sense of like what you like and start just taking notes because you'll get a feel. Once you kind of know the type of school, then you can go and spend money because this process can be costly just by doing all the, visits and stuff like that. Okay. July to September, we're talking all things like, this is like putting pedal to the metal, right? This is like, okay, gather your stuff. Like this is like taxes for teens. Yeah. You got to gather all the stuff, and you got to remember what honors, awards, what team, were you the MVP like back in 9th grade? You got to remember all these things. You got to start putting them all down. You can create a resume if you want to. You can open the applications. August 1st, the Common App opens, and also the University of California. Those of you from California. I'm based in California, so a lot of our followers are from California, but honestly, they're from all over the country. Okay, so that's this next set. Take a screenshot because you got to do all these things. I know, crazy. Okay, and then this is when the truth. This is what happens. So I should have mentioned. I don't know if it's on here. You want to apply to one college, I think, by September. So those that take our essay camp courses and are part of our family, they will be able to have everything they need to apply early, okay, to apply to a rolling admission school. So here are some vocabulary words. Again, screenshot this. November is a huge month. November 1st deadline, November 15th deadline, November 30th. Those are 3 big deadlines that come up for many colleges across the country, including all of the California system, public system. Okay, now my favorite vocabulary term is rolling admission. Why? Because rolling admission means that college is going to get your application, and once the application is done and ready, with all the pieces necessary to make a decision, they will review your application and give you a decision within 2 to 8 weeks. Now, I like to say, like in my house, payday came in the beginning of the month, and like we ate well, right? It was like we would out to Chinese food. It was like movie night with pizza, like all the things. By the end, towards the end of the month, beans and rice. Okay. Same thing with college admissions. At the beginning, they have many spots to fill, many spots to fill. So, and they don't know what else the pool is coming. So they're like, if you look halfway good, like, hey, come on. So it's much better than waiting to the very end when they're having like just a little bit of space left. Capiche? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Type the number 1 if I'm making sense. My little, pizza and Chinese food versus beans and rice, right? Anybody else? Me? That was me. Watching Dallas Friday night with pizza. Okay. Secret number 1 is the 90% happens before senior year. Secret 2, your biggest competition sits next to you in class. What? Dr. C, what are you talking about? You got to know your competition. This is what I'm going to tell you. All right. So you want to write this down. This is very important. Oh, yes, Jennifer, yes. Michelle Obama's brother. Yes. See, I had gone on to too many slides, and I was like, I totally lost my train of thought. Yes, Michelle Obama's brother. Michelle Robinson. Boom, they're both a Princeton alum. Okay. I digress. Okay, write this down. You're going to Google the name of your high school plus the word school profile, and you're going to find the school profile. What is it? It is a PDF form that on it, it gives me all of the demographic information, all the things I need to know about your high school. Why is that important? Because the college admissions uses it as the Bible to understand the context in which your child comes from. Gives me the honors and APs that are offered at your school. I said the demographics. It tells me the GPA distribution. It tells me which colleges students from that high school have been to. So now I understand the context, right? Your child takes 5 APs at a school that only offers 5 APs. Boom, great. Your child takes 1 AP out of the 25 that are offered. Different story. Okay. So you need this PDF. If you can't find it online, do ask for it at the counseling office. The whole point of this is to know your stats. You got to know, again, spring training. You're trying to get better, right? Trying to increase your batting average or your whatever it is that you're doing. Spring training. Oh, I said football. Does football have spring training? They must. They have something. So you want to know your stats and know where you stand within the pool of your classmates, because that's who you're competing against. Capiche? Okay. Let's take a look at Ryan. I'm going to have a drink of water. Take a look at what his mama has to say, and I'll tell you. Now, I've mentioned to you that I worked at Marymount High School, where Mariska Hargitay and Kim Kardashian and Giada DeSantis went to school. That school costs upwards of $45,000 a year now. Ryan attends a school similar to that. Okay, he's that type of school that they're learning Mandarin in like 6th grade. But even still, his mom was like, I need to enroll him and get him started this was at the end of his sophomore year. And then they stayed connected. He didn't take SA camp. He didn't necessarily need to. But the mom did tell me later that he did the best out of his classmate, his friend group, right? He did the best. Why? Probably because he had planted the seed early on, was what to do. So I'm just telling you, I'm just reporting the news, you guys. So secret number 2 is that the competition is in your classroom. Number 3, oh, I got to put on my glasses for this. Let's see. Oh, number 3, in order to stand out, you must be willing to do what most students will not in order to achieve what most students cannot. Yeah. All right. What does that mean? Know your coolness factor. Ooh. Coolness factor is a term I coined. I should have it like, what do you call it? Copyrighted or something. It's like your X factor. So take a screenshot of this. Most people want to have this. This is what I go over with my VIP clients. This whole chart. Level 1 is school involvement, 95 to 98% of the pool, clubs, sports, community service. Level 2 is school leadership. Think of all your elected or selected students, leaders, team captains, editors-in-chief, student body presidents, those kinds of levels, and also regional winners, right? Mock trial regional winner. Coolness factor. Ooh, level 3. Now we're getting to like we're 10%, right? So it's 95 to 98%, then it's like 12 to 15%, then we're like 10% is level 3. A coolness factor is what do you do? What would you do even if nobody paid you or gave you a grade? Just like something fun, right? And so I do have students who like they were interested in Japanese anime, like did all that stuff. Like somebody else who like knew everything there was to know about baseball. He wants to be a GM of the Yankees. Someone else collected Michael Jordan shoes. Someone knows 3 languages, 4 languages. You might have a part-time job. You might crochet. You might be on a club sport. That's coolness factor. What's the difference between that and impact project is level 4 is that you're doing something, whether nobody, paid you or gave you a grade, for the good of somebody else, for another project, for another community. So this is based on the Girl Scout Gold Award, which has 3 criteria. 1, you solve a problem. 2, for a community you're passionate about. And 3, for you put in about 80 hours or more. Okay, that's level 4. Okay, so private students that work with us, we say like minimum level 3, but most are going to level 4 and level 5. Okay, I'll give you an example. Miles, during COVID, he lives in a city here that the average age, they're all retired. So the like average age is like, 65 and above. So he made a large font website where the members of the community could order their groceries during COVID, and he would go and deliver, he'd get them and deliver them. He writes a great little essay about that. So good. This is Alexis, and you can kind of just read on the page here, the 5 levels that she was able to achieve. She was able to hit every single level. And then level 5, she did a 6-part immigration education series on immigration law. What? Yeah, I know. Look, your coolness factor doesn't have to be cool to me. It just has to be cool to you, right? So she's a daughter of an immigrant father and wants to possibly be an immigration lawyer. So all the things match, and she had mock trial. It was like, it's sang like a symphony. All right, that's secret number 3. You got to put in the work. Got to do the time, right? You got to do the time. Secret number 4 is that counselors get to personalize and contextualize while teachers verify and solidify. Okay, what? Dr. C, what does that even mean? Yeah, I know. Big words. I'll break it down. Okay, so you got to recruit your team. I'm going to put this little cough drop in my mouth, you guys. You got to recruit your team and know who you're doing, who you're asking. These are the 5 academic food groups. So the teachers will come from should. People make a mistake, right? Like, I'm going to ask my PE teacher. No, don't ask your PE teacher or your religion teacher. It's going to come from one of these 5. Okay, these are what we call the 5 academic food groups. So that's the first step. The second step is to go back to this. I want you to think about this. You're going from one academic institution to another academic institution. So they need to know and have evidence that you are a good student. You have intellectual curiosity. You want to learn. You like to learn. You like to be in school. Boom. That's what the teacher does. The teacher verifies and solidifies what I'm putting in my head. I read your transcript and I see like what kind of courses you took, APs. And then the teacher's like, yes, this person is a problem solver, a thinker, or whatever. Whereas the counselor is like, what kind of community member are you? And also personalizes some things if they know some things that are, maybe you come from a divorced family and they write about that or something. So they're very different purposes for each letter. Got it? Okay. Here are some success must-dos. You want to screenshot that. But I believe in asking the teacher in person. I also believe in handwritten notes. So yes, I am old school. But because so few people do this anymore, and so frankly, so few parents teach their kids to do this, when it happens, the teachers are like, wow. So you can almost guarantee a wow recommendation. Okay, that's secret number 4. Secret number 5, what you do becomes your resume, and why you do it becomes your essay. Ooh. Essays are my jam, you guys. We've been doing essay camp for longer than I care to remember or admit to. You guys, I haven't got a new camera just so I can look younger. I hope it's working. Okay. Step 5, know your narrative, know your story. Okay. I'm going to walk you through the signature core 4 essay questions that we believe every student, every applicant should be able to answer. Okay. Who am I and what am I good at? Let's start here. The who am I is the contextual. So we call that I'm a Mexican. So we call that the tamales essay, every, Christmas we make tamales kind of thing. That's a fine essay, but you get my point if I say it that way. It's like the culture, what is the background? Who are you? What do you value? What's your world like? Help me understand you. Okay. And then what am I good at is typically the leadership essay. So Miles, who I just explained, he would have written about, he did write about his little Trader Joe's journey. It was really cute. Okay. Something cool is just like anything. Like I said, Michael Jordan's shoes, a Wonder Woman collection, could be anything that is sort of cool and different about you. Adds a little levity to the application because, if that's what you're doing, imagine reading essays all day, every day for 3 months. Whew, it's tiring. The last essay question is the academic and future connection, also kind of known as why this major. So you have to really be able to answer all 4 of these questions to have a really tight, compelling application. I know. Okay, here's secret 5 again. And we move on to secret number 6. The onus is on the applicant, not the admission officer. Okay, you may want to tattoo that to your brain. Okay, I talked about this in my TED Talk, and it's honestly it's still the one line that I still remember very clearly because it's so true. And parents and students get mad and angry at this process. I get it. It feels like it's not fair. But at the end of the day, it's the student who has to put that application together and make it compelling. So the onus is on you. You've got to connect the dots for your reader, because quiz at the end, the counselor, the admission officer will have 6 to 12 minutes total to review the entire application cover to cover. So you got to do the heavy lifting for them. So it makes it really compelling. So every year, thousands are denied, and the application has to make sense to the reader. Otherwise, they move on to the next perfectly qualified applicant. There's more qualified applicants than there are spaces for. That's the bottom line. So very quickly, I'll breeze through. Here's Curtis. And Curtis said to me when I first met him, he's from DC. He said, Dr. Cologne, did you know that there's only 5 living African-American paleontologists? And I want to be number 6. I was like, what? I said, okay, like, let's go. I see you. I'm a big believer in, like, whatever they tell me they want to, whatever they say, I'm like, okay, let's go. So when he was deferred from Harvard, he applied early to Harvard and he was deferred. And he called, we had a Zoom call, and I said, Curtis, did you tell him what you said to me? And he said, well, no, not really. And I said, you got to go big or go home. Like, I remember that. I will probably not one day remember his name, but I will remember those words that came out of his mouth. I want to be number 6. What? Okay. I believe you. So he wrote a letter, because you have some time that you can submit something else. He was admitted. Boom. I'm not saying it was because of that advice, but I'm just saying he was admitted. Here's Lexi. She goes by Lexi. And so she transferred. And so this is probably all that I'll remember from her application, but she did really well. She got a lot of merit money. Here's Mateo. What I love about Mateo, right? So he's like an entrepreneur and all of those things, and he started a nonprofit. Here's what I love and I will remember forever. He's Steph Curry's #1 fan. He wrote an essay about this. In his UC application. There's 4 essays for the UC application. So that little coolness factor, I think, goes a long way, just because it helps to for us to get to know your personality, which is really what it's all about. Here's Ryan. I mentioned Ryan before, and his mom and the type of school that he goes to, but he was one of our cohort 1 from Dream College Academy. Here's Jonna. There's another one. She was like, I want to be the president. And as soon as she said it, we were on Zoom with like 30 kids. I was like, she means the president of the United States. She means POTUS. Yep. So ever since then, I called her Little POTUS. So there you are. She's now at Princeton on her way with hanging out with Greg Robinson. Right? What would you do? Like, how would that feel, you guys? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Don't you think that would be amazing? When it happens, it feels unreal. Like the girl that just got admitted to Stanford just 2 days ago, whatever day it was. Friday. The dad videoed it for me and sent it to me, and you can see her, like, she's like literally, like, she doesn't even know what to do with herself. She's like, I think she just keeps saying, like, I just got admitted to Stanford. Like, it's Stanford. Like, you're almost like questioning, did they make a mistake? Like, what's going on? What's happening? So you want it and you wish for it, but then when it happens, you're like, this is unbelievable, right? Right. Give me a #1. Or give me an amen if you're like, you get it. You get me. You get what I'm saying. Okay. When you level up, you don't have to chase success. Success will find you. I'm telling you. Okay. That's secret number 7. Number 6. Number 7. Okay. All right. Okay. You guys, type into the, tell me you get it. Tell me you get it. Give me a #1. Give me something. Okay, because I can't see you. Now that I've switched to platforms in Zoom, I used to use Zoom, so I used to be able to see people and like they wave and stuff, but I can't see you, so you gotta like help me out here. Okay, here's Bonnie. Bonnie is one of those students that I love her, and she would agree. She's no A+ Rockstar student by far. But she had a lot going for her in her resume, and so she committed to the process. She was one of our very, very first beta testers for Dream College Academy, and she made spreadsheets. She made my spreadsheets look like amateur. So she got admitted to her dream college. Again, your dream college is like whatever it is for you. Okay, here are the twins. The twins are at UVA and at NC State, and that's their mama. She was searching, probably like some of you. And she found me, and they got enrolled into Dream College Academy and then later SA Boot Camp. And they just went, with us. They just stayed with us. So now she has another set of twins. What? Okay, so I want to ask you, what are you doing now to set yourself up for success later? Meaning you, the family, but also like your teen who's going to be applying to college within the next 2 years, right? Okay. Here's the myth versus truth. The myth is that every college is looking for the best applicants. That's not true. Every college is looking for the best applicants that align with their own values, like that are a match for them. Okay. And then how many they can admit depends on the size of the institution. And many of these competitive colleges are admitting the same number or looking to have the same number of freshmen in each class they did 10, 15 years ago, even though the number of applications has skyrocketed, right? So just keep that in mind. Like, Disney and Apple and Nike, they're all great, companies and great brands. But each of them would be looking for a different kind of applicant. Okay? Think about that. All right. Myth number 2 is the admission process is a meritocracy. Everybody judged simply by their grades and test scores. Okay, no, this is not true. Because for competitive colleges, those, especially the top 100, and 60 to 80% of the applicant pool are all equally qualified, equally academically qualified, right? So you're trying to outperform your competition that's just as good as you are, if not better, depending on, again, what does that word mean, right? So just think about that. 60 to 80% are all equally qualified. And the last one is that, the myth that college admissions is subjective. It's not. And I don't think any of us wants it to be. The objective is like, Gary Clark, the VP at UCLA, he said, if we wanted to just do that, we would have we run a spreadsheet of all the grades, GPAs, and test scores, and then be done in 10 minutes, right? Ranking everybody. The admission process is not objective because it's subjected to humans. So just keep that in mind. The humans who read them, the humans who submit them. Okay, the Texas Rockstar. Now, you need to hear the story. If you've been like veering off, like come back to me here, like listen. So in 2021, the Wall Street Journal ran an article called like Texas Rockstar, like rejected 9 times, or sometimes enough is not enough, or something. And she applied to 11 colleges. She was rejected 9 times. 9. So I read the article. I looked up her school profile, which I told you to do. And based on, okay, can you hear me now? The thing got unplugged. My microphone got unplugged. Okay, Sally, let me know if you can hear me okay. Yes? Okay. I'm going to keep going. Jennifer, someone tell me that you can hear me. Yes? Can you hear me? Yay. Okay. Yes, thank you. Okay, so back to the story. When I looked at her school profile, 7 of the 9 colleges that she was rejected from were not on her school profile. That tells me that students from her high school had not recently been admitted to those schools. So she was not set up for success. So like a little 10-minute conversation with me, I would have told her what to do. She would have been admitted to 9 schools, not denied. So I want to tell you, you cannot unfeel those 9 rejections. No. I had one girl at Marymount who was rejected like 11 times. If you have my book, it's in chapter 6, I want to say. It's a real story. Well, all the stories are real. You don't want that. Okay. So just think about even one yes. Most people would be like, okay, I'll just take one. I just need one yes. Yeah, that's all you need. It'll change your life. So think about all the things and how it will change the trajectory of your life. Okay. And leaving this to chance, like Caitlin, the Texas rock star. Yeah. What's that going to cost you? What's that going to cost you? There are nearly 3,000 four-year colleges in the country, but the most prestigious or the most well-known, and I don't like to use the word like the best, because just because they have a low acceptance rate doesn't mean that they're the best, in my opinion. Okay, so the best is up for discussion, but these are the most well-known, and for most families, they know it will change their life. You'll be set up for life. Maybe not, but my mom likes to say it's an insurance policy to have a happy future. So you don't have to be curing cancer. You don't have to be the next Mother Teresa. These are ordinary students. right? Going into this process, not blindly, but with a guide, with someone to help you, someone who's gone before you. That's what you're looking for. Okay. Again, you don't have to be curing cancer. I promise. None of the students I've talked about are curing cancer or were recruited athletes. Okay. Oh, that's not true. I forgot about. She was kind of a recruited athlete. This is D3. Okay. Here's what this looks like. Again, it feels like unreal when it happens. They were kind enough to let me Zoom with them when she did this, which is very, I just find that such an honor. But this was Jana's mom, and she wanted to help reduce her stress and increase her daughter's success. And she knew that she needed to start early. So I just wanted to show you, that it's a marathon, not a sprint, you guys. Little bit at a time, little bit at a time. And this allows you to be surrounded by people who are, can-do people, intellects, future business owners, etc. So look at the list here. I pulled up some different names. Tina Fey, loved Tina Fey. America Ferrera, she went to USC. Jeff Bezos, I didn't know Jeff Bezos had gone to Princeton. Huh? Look at that. So Sarah Hughes, Olympic champion. Yeah. Presidents. Meryl Streep went to Vassar. Martha Stewart went to Barnard. Oh, I worked at Barnard too. Okay. So my mom used to say, dime con quien andas y te digo quién eres. Okay. Loosely translated is like, we are the average of who we keep closest to us, the 5 people we keep closest to us. Or business people will say, your network is your net worth. Okay. When you're a kid, you don't understand. Like, what? Mom, dime con quien? Like, I just want to hang with Kristen. What's the big deal? Oh, Kristen runs a little fast. Oh, she wears black bra. Like, oh, yeah, these were the things my mom was telling me, right? Okay. Bottom line is this. College is not about going somewhere where to fit in with who you are now. It's about thinking about who you aspire to become. So I remember going to USC for the halftime. I was on the drill team, and so they invited, like, I don't know, probably 100 high schools or something. But once I was there on the campus, I was like, oh my Lord, this is for me. Like, these are students I've never, my high school, most students were going to their local college. I was like, this was like, oh, big time. So think about the future you. Think about the future you. Okay, once you learn these strategies, it's going to feel like you're cheating. A lot of parents do refer me, and because they have good success, but I've noticed that it's usually not in the same grade, right? You're like, okay, can you think of anybody that can use me? They're like, yes, but it's got to be someone that's younger or older, because then once you have the secrets, you're like, okay, I don't want anybody else working with Dr. C. Hello, right? Am I right? I know, you're like, yes. You got to put in the time now to enjoy senior year. Senior year is like the best, and it's not going to be the best if you're stressed. So I really believe in chipping away at things. So I'm a chipper, right? I have to pack. I have to be at the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning, you guys. All day I've been like, okay, right, here's my makeup. Here's my, vitamins. And I just spent chipping away at packing. So that's how I treat the college admission process. I'm going to help you chip away at it so it never, ever feels overwhelming. Okay, so here's a quick recap. These are all the steps. Okay, all the steps, action steps, right? So at this point, there's 2 choices. You can try to do this alone, right? And which is, you can do it. It's not that you can't do it. There's just a lot of information online that you can find, and it'll take you hours and hours of work. Or choice number 2, you can learn a team-proven, battle-tested system from someone who's been in this business for a long time and is an expert. And I've practiced with over 10,000 students. So that I have a proven track record. I just told you. He's just gonna do today. So excited for him. Okay. So you want to think about, what are your choices? So would you like me to show you a step-by-step program on how to create an irresistible application so unique that it becomes hard to say no? Would you like that? Please let me know if I have your permission to just tell you a little bit about this program and how you might be able to work with us. Yeah? Okay. Type the number 1 if you're like, yes, I'm ready to go. Okay. I'm trying to see who's here. I'm trying to see if my friend Sine is here. Sine, are you here? I don't see you. Okay, here we go. I would be honored to be your cheer leader and your coach. I have a cheerleader at heart. So I put together this ultimate college application boot camp. It's really a 12-month plan. It's the first time we've offered it this way. So I'm going to walk you through what what all entails. But here are some students who maybe you haven't seen me talk about yet before, but I remember Jackson and Ava. They're from all over North Carolina. Mary, hi Mary, and Jolene, and then Clark from New Jersey. We've been Zooming since before Zooming was a verb. So we do have students from across the country. Okay, here are some mistakes that students tend to make on their application before they hit submit. And that's like never a good thing because there are no do-overs. So I came up with 14, but honestly, I could probably go on. But here are the key, 14 mistakes that they make. And you can probably guess some of them, but asking the wrong teacher, that's a huge no. Applying to the wrong list of colleges is a big one too. And then, of course, writing topics that are too common and never help move the needle. Okay, so this camp is going to go through, or this boot camp, I should say, is going to go through all of these things with you so that you don't make those mistakes, meaning your kid. Okay, so here's the overview, and I'm going to walk you through each piece. But I'll just say this: when I worked at Marymount, the student to counselor ratio there, college counselor, was 55 to 1. It was like 110 girls per class, and there were 2 counselors. Okay. If you're at a school like that, then maybe you don't need to extra help. But most schools don't have that kind of student to counselor ratio. But even still, we were like running around like a chicken with our head cut off during the fall, trying to get all these essays back to the girls. So we started essay camp even when I was at Marymount. That's how essay camp was born, actually. So we went on to do essay camp, but I will tell you that what I didn't realize was that we did essay camp for the girls at Marymount because during the school year, we were in the classroom with them doing all of the other pieces, all of the spring training. So once I got that in my head, I was like, oh, essay camp is like, the summer thing, but we need a spring training. And that's why Dream College Academy was born. So this program ties both of those things together into one comprehensive program. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you. It comes with all these extra bonuses. I'll walk you through that. So, okay. Oh, she changed that. Okay, good. Here's what Marymount looked like. I told you the student to counselor ratio. There was 6 counselors essentially for 400 girls. The college blueprint started in freshman year. We started training the students what to do and their families starting in freshman year. Yeah. And these girls regularly wrote papers, 3, 5, 10, 15-page papers. I say that because the essay is so important, and it's so important because most students educated here in the United States don't know how to write, period. So unless you go to school like this, you're probably not getting the amount of writing that you could, that you should. So the tuition there now is over $40,000 a year. So if you're at another type of school, you're probably getting a couple of these items, but not all of these items, okay? Usually they do have a financial aid person come and help you a little bit, okay? So here's the thing. I just decided, like, everybody deserves the kind of attention that I was giving to my students at Marymount. So I just decided to give the best, but charge less, okay? Here's some more students you've heard me talk about today, okay? So if you'd be interested, I'm going to give it a deep dive and go into each module here, and then I'll take some questions. Okay, so does that sound fair? Okay, hope you're like nodding yourself. Yes. All right. Here is the breakdown. We begin. We've helped with students B plus, all the way to A plus students reach their dreams because they have a can-do spirit and they're coachable and they're willing to stick to the plan. So here's the plan. We begin with getting your mind set, getting your mind aligned, okay? And what we do in here, okay, if you haven't figured out, like I'm a big on reading and getting affirmations and like getting inspiration from different things, vision boarding, manifesting, all of those things. So I take all of those best practices because getting admitted to a dream college starts up here. And I just told you the girl from Stanford, she was like, she's been doing this for 2 years. And even still, she was like, she had that moment of like, I can't believe that they picked me, That's how it feels. So it has to start up here. You have to start believing it up here. So the exercises are going to blow your mind, but what we're doing with teenagers now, right? Value of 397. Okay, next step. The academics, the grades, the curriculum. Now, with the VIP clients, we go over these things, one-on-one, but you need to know what your GPA is based on the college admissions GPA, not your transcript GPA. So understanding what your admissions GPA is, we walk you through it. We give you the templates, we show you how to calculate it, California system and also the private school system. And now now you understand, oh, okay, this is the GPA I need to be thinking about. So you set yourself up for success. That's the problem. That's the point. Okay, that's another value, 597. Become an admission expert. I will tell you that I would fly to Miami and to San Francisco when I was an admission officer, because those were two cities that the private schools in those cities gathered together, put us up in a hotel, wined and dined us for 5 days, and then each day we would go to a different high school, private school, and do a case studies with the parents and students of the juniors. So Dr. C, what? I know. I was like, this is crazy. Why do they get all the stuff? So that's basically what I given to you. So we will have a mock admissions committee where we walk you through and show you how admissions folks do it. And if you're lucky, I'll use my Rolodex and invite some friends to come and join us. They've done it before, and yeah, it's just so good. Gold on the ground, you guys. 397. The resume and co-curricular section. This is, I think, the biggest one where we can help you level up your impact leadership and things like that. So this module is designed for you to really understand that there is a hierarchy, and if you're trying to get to those top elite schools, you really need to shoot for level 4 and level 5. So this is going to help you get there. Okay, so that's another 497. All right, moving on. Your major and your college list. So there are 5 most popular majors, and so we can't have everybody in the class be freshmen majoring in these 5 majors, right? So we try to give you some other alternatives, some adjacent majors, and we also give you some insider scoop of where to find these reports that will tell you how many males and how many females applied to each college. It tells you the majors that are most popular at that college, and it gives you the insider track so that you can develop a college list that will set you up for success, and so that you won't be like Caitlin from Texas. Yeah, remember her? Yeah, remember her? Hopefully you'll never forget her. And every time you think of Texas, you're going to be like, Dr. C told me that story. Okay, so that is also another 497. Okay, next one. I think there's a typo there. First drafted essays. Think spring training. I got to get my mind start thinking and brainstorming, because this personal statement, it ends up becoming a key piece in this puzzle. And so we get students to start thinking about it even before hitting summer. Okay, so here we are. We're at a total value of 2285. Letters of recommendation, I mentioned to you before, it's very important to pick the right teachers. It's not just about like what teacher likes me. It's about what teacher can talk about my intellectual curiosity or my problem solving skills or my collaboration skills, right? That's what you want. And this gives you a complete template as to how, remember I told you we taught, I can't remember if I said this story, but there was this teacher that the letter of recommendation was forwarded back to us because it was addressed the wrong address. And after we saw what the teacher wrote for this letter of recommendation, we were like, oh, so we changed the curriculum of how we teach teachers how to write recommendations, and we changed the way we teach students how to ask for them. So that's in here. This module alone is like super gold, because I literally straight out of like what I did at Marymount, literally. Okay, so now we're up to almost 3,000 is the total value. Oh, so good. Dream Builder's action plan. Have you ever thought to yourself, I wish I knew this when I was a kid, right? Yeah, that's what this is. It's basically 7 success habits. And it's actually the very habits that I use. Again, I do a lot of reading. I don't read like novels and romance. I say that for the movies, I guess. But I do read like Atomic Habits and Good to Great and it's 10 Success Principles by Jack Canfield, those things like that. So I pull out all the best stuff and then do it, give it to you here. So all the things you wish. So parents, this might be the module that you're watching more than your child is. So that's okay. I'm happy about that. The UC and common application. So senior year, once you're actually in it, This would be sort of the fall semester. These pieces would come into the fall. The UC and common application, they're very different applications and they're very different strategies on how to maximize your choices and chances. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to break it down for you. Yay, success. Okay, 697 value. Then, I think this is the last module of this section. The interview. This is the very interview strategy that we used for Jonna to get into Princeton, and then Alexis and Celeste. Also, I won't say his name yet because he's currently senior, but the young man who just got admitted to Duke, his mom, I worked with the daughter last year, and I did this very exercise with her, in addition to other things. But so this year, the mom was like, because we were pretty much almost done. He was a platinum client, not a VIP. And I said, I think we're almost out of hours, so whatever. And she's like, but can you please do that, what you did with the daughter, with the interview stuff, because she really found that valuable. So same thing with this young man. He had an interview for Duke. We went over the same strategy that's in here for you. And I had the mock interview with him, okay? And that's what I do with my platinum and my VIP clients, which, we'll do anything together. So we spent an hour on the Zoom practicing. Boom. He got admitted, you guys. I'm so excited. I can't wait. After I'm done, I'm going to call the mom. Okay. So that brings us to a total of 5770, okay, as the value. Woo, but wait, there's more. Here's the essay bootcamp. Now, the essay bootcamp is the signature program that we started with, that everybody that you've seen here that's had success, they've all done some version of essay bootcamp, okay? Even Ryan did a smaller version of it, right? The one from Texas, he's from Texas, is at Emory, right? But pretty much everybody takes essay bootcamp. It's 5 days. Day 1, we start with those core 4 essay prompts and get their brains moving and whatever. This is the very exercise that has helped people get unstuck as to what, and feeling like, am I interesting enough? Yes, you're interesting enough. I promise you. So day 1 is gold. So, right, 1997. Boom. Day 2, your unique message. Every essay can't just be about the birds and the beautiful clouds, right? It has to have a purpose. So we really teach this particular exercise, this particular lesson that we've coined and labeled, because it has to have a purpose. It can't just be sweet, puffy words and beautiful prose. No. Okay. So it's very purposeful. Day 3 is the slam dunk essay template. Okay, this is where students have drafted for 2 days, and they probably have all of the parts in there, but now we teach them how to move them around so that it makes for a better and more compelling essay, right? It's like a movie script sort of thing. So students love this day. It's this is gold. They leave feeling oh, okay, I'm confident. I'm getting there. It's starting to finally look like an essay, right? Okay, it's another 1997. Essay camp, by the way, goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we do writing in the morning, and we do the college applications in the afternoon. So it's a full day. Okay, and then the last day is the fourth day. The fourth day is the good to well formula. And so this is, if you have there's a sample packet of essays floating around, a 10 sample free, and there's a McDonald's essay. So we use that McDonald's essay as inspiration for a little curriculum that we teach, because the McDonald's essay is so simple. The concept is so simple, but it's memorable. Even still to this day, I'll probably forget that kid's name. I know it now. It's Diego. But it's the essay. Oh, so good. So this is the lesson that we use, the McDonald's lesson, on day 4. Okay, day 5 is outperforming the competition. Now, you guys, don't shoot the messenger. Again, nod your head yes if you're yes, this process is crazy, Dr. C. Yes, it is. Students report that they have to submit somewhere between 18 and 48 essays. We say you need 4. And with my private clients, we probably develop about a good repertoire of 6, okay, core essays that we teach you how to rinse and repeat, recycle and reuse. Don't try to write literally 48 essays. That will kill you, and the essays won't be that good if you're trying to start from scratch every single time. So this, in my opinion, is okay, just get your battle armor and just keep using it. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Okay. So those are the 5 days. And it's important to understand that the students get their personal essay coach in the 5 days. So the coach has no more than 4 to 6 students under their belt. So that's a student to counselor ratio, very, very small, right? So that's a $5,000 value. So now we're at 20,000. Oh, what? You're like, what? Dr. Cologne? No way. Yes, way. Let's review. Here's Dream College Academy. By the way, Sally, you get access to all of this. Yeah. This is College Essay Bootcamp. And this, wait, what did I do here? Personal coach, yes. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Now, that's not all. It includes the financial aid workshop that Stephanie and Jocelyn did some recording. Now, I am not an expert in anything financial with the financial aid or merit money. So that's why I brought these people in. It's not my jam, and it's not a jam I care to know, to be honest with you. Don't tell anyone. But, everybody has their gifts. So I include that in there for you. Yay. And I also include this. You'll get mailed home a book, a signed copy of my book, and also the 40 sample packet of essays. Okay. They're all essays that students have been admitted to the Ivy League and top 100 schools. Okay. So we'll send that to you to your doorstep. You're going to get it. Yay. Okay. Now here are the bonuses. I have a number of bonuses and I want to walk you through them, and then I'll take questions. So you get bi-monthly coaching with me. Now that comes to about 2.5 to 3 hours because I'm sure it'll go over 1 hour. But when I was at Marymount, we would go to the religion class once a week and see the girls for about 45 minutes because that's just the way we did it. And so I feel like you deserve that same kind of attention. So bi-monthly coaching with me, and sometimes I'll have guests as well. Okay, so that's bonus 1. Bonus 2. Oh, I didn't fix the slide. Dang it. Parent Academy workbook. I have a graphic for that, and that's a reminder. That big X is like my reminder, like change this, and I didn't. So there you go. Parents, you are now allowed to nudge but not nag. So this will guide you through. It'll tell you how to be a rock star parent, and you'll just feel so much better. And also, I'm the one that's supposed to nag, not you. Okay, that's bonus number 2. Bonus number 3 is 14-month membership access to Kajabi. That's our platform that we have all our video tutorials and our courses. So you get that. Now, here's why that's important. But chances are you're going to remember maybe 3 things that I said tonight. Maybe, right? And so same thing is true at your school. So whenever it feels like, oh, what did she say? What did she mean? Or a counselor at school isn't getting back to you with an email or a phone call or whatever you've tried, or they're out of the office, or it's now the weekend, go find the answer. The answers are all there. So you get to like watch and repeat. I don't know about you, but when I'm like focused on something, all I'm doing is listening to it and reading it. Right now I'm all about Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is like thing for a lot of entrepreneurs. And I have all his books. I listen to his podcast. Like I am drinking the Kool-Aid because I want to get better at it, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's good to have this membership, because you can watch the videos over and over again until you get it. The checklist, I'll just say, I love a good checklist. And I finally decided I have like 2-3 checklists for different things, and then we're going to like finally put it together so that you have a comprehensive checklist, right? Can I get an amen? You're like, yes, please. I want a checklist. I love a checklist only for the fact that I like to check things off. Like, yes, did that, boom. Okay, that's another bonus. Here are the next 2 things that are really great. This is a bonus. I called them. I asked, these are my friends. And then I'm like, can I offer you part of my offer? They were like, yes. So you get a free consultation with Stephanie, the founder of College Aid Works. She's my go-to for all things financial aid. Whether you're not, you think you're going to qualify for aid, you need to, Sally, I need to give you her number. You need to have a conversation so that you can do what you need to do. She'll tell you what to do, when to do it, what monies, what colleges, all kinds of things. Love her. So that comes part of it. So that's a $500 value. The other person you're going to get to have is Carol Grace, founder of Give 3600. Forget what 3600 is. 3600 seconds in a year? No, that's too few. In a day? In a week? I can't remember. but there's some significance. Okay, anyway, I digress. There's me and Sienna. She's one of my VIP clients. We were at having my open house a couple years ago when I bought my duplex in Hollywood Hills, and I had a bunch of people over. And this is the greatness. Like when your family, like she lived close by, so she's like, I want to come, and I'm like, of course. So she came. But Sienna, her story is that she started with me in sophomore year, and we did a coolness project. Carol Grace helped us find what she was looking for. And it's called Beads of Courage. And all she had to do was sew bead bags for she made a goal. Sienna, meaning Sienna, she and I sat down and I said, okay, what do you want to do? Because Sienna is shy. She was never going to be the student body president. She was never going to be level, 2 or possibly not even level 3, but like she skipped and went to level 4. So she did the bead bags of courage, and she sewed 100 bead bags in over the course of like 12 or 14 months. And then wrote about it, which is a cute little essay. And many people wrote her a personal note in her acceptance letter. So that's the story of Sienna with the help of Give 3600. So there you go. This is valuable stuff here, you guys. So she said yes. When I reached out to her, I said, Carol, I need to like put you in my offer. She said, yeah. I said, okay, great. Okay. Benefits to you. The bi-monthly strategy session. So after the call, the 1 hour bi-monthly call with the training and going over the modules and answering questions about the modules. So we'll follow a curriculum just like we did at Marymount. I will also stay on to do a strategy call. So with my private clients, they meet with me one-on-one on Zoom or sometimes in person. But so that's one-on-one time for them. But in a group session, I'm happy to answer, certain questions if you want to have strategy, little strategy questions along the way. Okay. So that will be included as well. 365 days of dream building together. I get choked up when I think about I didn't know. I wasn't ungrateful to my mom, but when you're young, you don't really realize what she did. So I get choked up thinking that she went out of her way. She didn't know how to, she didn't go to college, a 4-year college, but she went out of her way to leave work early one day and pick me up and then drive me north on the 110 freeway in the brown Oldsmobile to help me have someone tell me what to do because I was so nervous. And in that moment, she said to me, I interpret it as like, you're in my corner, like you're with me through this process, like hand holding my hand and doing whatever she could. So I want to be that Mr. Vargas for you. Ooh, sorry, I do get choked up when I think about what she, I should probably call her. Thank her. And then finally, just special invitations. This is like priceless, but I do have a Rolodex because I worked at Vassar. I am still part of a group of the Ivy League and sister institutions. We all still, in it, you had to have worked at an institute, one of those institutes in the admission office to be part of this group. You cannot buy membership. So all of us who work there now also are VPs and deans and directors at other major institutions across the country, including Yvonne Romero, who you see here in the black and white dress. Is that right? Yeah. She's the VP over at Rice. And then to the far right is Peaches, who is the VP or dean at Wellesley. And then Gary Clark is the VP at UCLA. So I invite them to join me to do something. And sometimes they say yes if they're not busy. So there you go. Okay. All right. Yes. Over $40,000. Dr. C, you're crazy. Yes. No. I'm crazy because I'm not going to charge you that. Just imagine all of these things that if you could finally stop worrying and take action instead of feeling paralyzed by the overwhelm, let's say you created a college list that leads to success. You gained the one idea that makes an impact and skyrockets your chance of admission. You discovered how to select teachers and how to guarantee their words that will help your chances, or that you just learned how to write compelling essays that outperform the equally qualified applicants, right? So imagine if you got admitted to your dream college. What? Crazy. It happens. It's happened 3 times in the last few days. Happens. This is what Marymount looked like. I showed you this already. Okay, so just want you to put that in your head because this does, in fact, people do pay over 40 grand to have this kind of service, right? Okay, and in other schools, this is probably what you're getting or not getting, right? Am I right? Am I right? Can I get an amen? Am I right? Yeah. So again, I decided to deliver the best but charge less. So here are some more students that have been part. Juliana, haven't talked about her. I went to school to Columbia with Becky, who's Jules' mom, and so we've still stayed in touch. And so Jules, she let me experiment on Jules, and Jules is graduating from Cornell this year. What? I know. Okay, so this is the total value of everything that's included. It's the thing I've been wanting to do for so long, is to put everything to a comprehensive 12-month program, so that everybody can have literally what I would deliver at that private girls school. So don't worry. This is the public price that we have for everybody out there, because essentially College SA Boot Camp, the silver package, is basically $3,029.97, and then you add another $1,000 to that from during College Academy. So that's what the public price is. I want to offer it to you at even a lower price than that, because you're here with me tonight, and you want to set yourself up for success to get started right away, right? Am I right? So I want to do even better than that and offer you just a special price. 24 just seemed to make sense, right? Because we're in the year 2024. So this is the price that we're offering between now and Christmas Eve, December 24th. And you're going to save basically over $1,500. This is a price that I've not seen in a while, for a couple years now, and it didn't even include all of the things I'm giving to you. So I just want you to keep that in mind. I don't say that for other than I don't know how long Stephanie and Carol Grace will allow me to give away their services for free or whatnot, or be part of this package. So this, even if this deal looks similar, it'll look different. It won't have as much included in it. So it's a great time to get started and give yourself a good holiday gift for your whole family. And I should mention, it is for the whole family. Any family member can come to any of the open sessions. Okay, so just keep that in mind. For the first 10 that sign up with me, will get a strategy session with me, a 45-minute strategy session. As I mentioned, if Caitlin, that Texas Rockstar, had me as her counselor, she would have been admitted to 9 colleges instead of rejected. So it wouldn't have taken a whole lot to tweak some things based on what I read in the Wall Street Journal and took notes. So, right. That's a podcast, by the way. I think it's podcast 193 or 196. Actually, there's 2 that I do a deep dive on Caitlin, in case you're wondering. Okay. So in this session, I'll go over all the things, your school profile, your transcript, and I'll give you my own special advice as to how to leverage what you have and to make sure that you maximize your success. Sound good? So good. Okay. Let's see. Let me just jump here. The real question is this worth investing? To check this out. So if you could increase the pile of Dream College acceptance letters, what would you do? And what's not, what is not having a plan or an expert guide costing you? So just think about that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give away a prize. I'm giving away a prize. Okay. Here's the prizes, you guys. So you're going to have to type into the chat, type into the comments, one thing you heard me say. One thing you heard me say. Let me stop screen. There we go. I want you to type one thing you heard me say today that it was valuable. What is the one thing that you're like, yeah, I heard that. Yes. Yes. Okay. So do that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to grab the thing. I'm going to show you. Okay. Okay. You have to type something into the comments in order to be eligible to win. So that's the first thing. So while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you this. So, this is my favorite planner, the Passion Planner. Does anyone use the Passion Planner? This is my favorite planner, and this one's in gold. It's in gold. I'm about to buy 4 more because I usually buy 4 per year. So I'm happy to send you my Passion Planner. It's the best one. I love it. So you can choose from here, or you can choose a $25 gift card to Amazon. Okay. So go ahead, type something that you learned or that you heard me say, and then I'll choose from there. So, okay. Okay, set up a family email account. Yes, go, Carrie, go. That's one of the best tips I have, because you don't want all that stuff. Oh. Okay, use the same essay, but tweak them. Yes. Yes, go, Betty, go. Hi, Betty, where are you from? I didn't see you earlier. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. You guys. Type something into the chat. Into the chat. I keep saying chat like we're on Zoom. You guys, I don't know. What do you think? Do you like my little border? What do you think? The thing is, like, I can't see when I don't have my glasses on. I can't see completely clearly. So, let's see. I just got my new glasses too. And this is like a virtual background. This is not my house, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm sure you figured it out. But I needed something to like match the border, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I know. I was like, this is kind of like New Year's celebration. And also just like I'm a celebratory person. I love to celebrate the big wins. We're going to be sharing some of our big wins next week with, well, not our big wins, their big wins, the students. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm just going to go click. Who did I click on? I clicked on Betty. Okay, Betty, you get to choose. You get to choose. Do you want the passion planner? The yellow sunrise passion planner? Or do you want a gift card to Amazon? Or you can choose a gift card anywhere. Okay, so let me know. You can type in the chat. But I'm going to tell you right now. So hello at cynthia.com. Betty, this is what you need to do. You need to send me an email. You have 24 hours to send me an email with your name and address. No, I guess if you want it. Anyway, send me an email so I know what to do and what to send. Okay, this is something new I'm trying. So I don't know. And I can't even like talk to you guys. I would kind of wish I was on Zoom right now so I could be like, take your name off, on speaker. Okay, so send me an email. Tell me, hi, I'm Betty. I won, and what you want. And if I need, the address to mail it, then just give me your address. Okay. I want to tell you right now, I have to be at the airport at 5 a.m. and I haven't started packing. I've chipped away at packing, as I mentioned earlier, but I'm not ready. So, okay, there you go. Now I want to share with you, gift card. Okay. So email me and tell me, like, I don't know, if it were me, I'd be like, I want a Sephora gift card or whatever. So just tell me what you want and I will make sure our team gets it to you. Sound good? Let's see. I just want to put into the chat one more thing. Let me just make sure this is working. Okay, so here is the link for those of you who want to go and register. We're going to be running a special that will be on replay. There were, probably about 90 people who signed up for the webinar. So they're either watching live on Facebook or they are catching the replay. So see, that's not working. Is it working? All right, let me try that. I just want to click on that link. I'm going to click on the link and just make sure it's working because Stephanie had said it wasn't working, but it was working for me. Yeah, that's right. Okay, it came up. Oops, it came up. All right, guys, it's 7:28. Any questions about anything? All right. Sally, if you're still here, tell me that you learned something, even though we had our long meeting. And then again, you get to have access to all of this. So you get all the information as well, right? Because a VIP gets access to everything. Okay, you guys want to see my dog, my Elvis? I'll show you Elvis. He's gonna watch me pack in just a minute. Here's Elvis. Oh my God. He just got a bath, and I love that he gets to ride with me on the plane. So we're headed to New Orleans. That's where we're going to fly into. Going to see my sister. So there you go. Okay, everyone. Okay, Bubby. Okay, Betty. I'll see your email. And there you go. Okay. So much to learn. I know. One step at a time, right? One step at a time. All right, you're welcome. Good to see you, Carrie. All right, guys, over and out. I got to go pack and then take a nap, basically, before getting Uber to pick me up at 4:30. Me and Elvis. All right, bye, everyone. Have a good night. Have a happy rest of the week. Bye for now. Okay, I got to learn how to do the StreamYard thing, and how do I end this? Boom. Yes. Bye, everyone.